We in the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. With Rob. We in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Is alone and only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Top with the OG like Flintstones, good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of In the Studio with Rob. I am he, and I'd like to welcome you. I also have with me my man Izzle.
Here.
What's going on, young fella?
Feeling good, feeling great, sir. How are you?
Hey, all is well.
It's lovely. Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
You look well. You look very proud.
I'm a proud father and husband, yes, and grandfather.
Army alum.
And I'm an Army veteran.
All right, wait, I got a question. Did you match the hat and the dog tag t-shirt on purpose?
No, I actually just grabbed it. Well, I did grab a hat because I had the shirt on, but yeah.
So yes.
But yeah.
Yes.
I did actually.
Okay, and another question. Why didn't you put your actual dog tags on?
No, because they in a box. Nobody will wear dog tags.
Why not?
I ain't walking around no dog.
All right, does nobody do it, or?
I mean, some people may be rocking that. I don't. Once you finish, you finish. I wore more.
Do you know any former Army people or not for? Is it former
veterans?
Army? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Army.
Anyway, so
do I know any?
You know any veterans that rock their dog tag?
No, I don't. I'm not saying it's not. I just don't know none that actually do it.
All right, do you know any that like frown upon it specifically?
No,
like y'all ever talk about it? Like, oh, look at that wearing the dog.
I ain't never talked about no dude and he's like, yo, that's again, teach his own. Do you?
Gotcha.
Whatever make you feel good, bro. You feel rock your dog tags if you like.
I appreciate you.
This just happened to come on the shirt.
I appreciate you satisfying my curiosity.
Good. Hey, yo, with that though, let's we're gonna flip this a little bit. We're gonna talk about a topic that's a serious topic. And it could affect people in a lot of different ways. Negatively affect people. And so I want to try to help people understand some of the things that go on with it and then give you some tips on how to deal with it. We're talking about addiction. You know, when you're in a relationship or you have somebody, maybe even in your family, that's addicted to something, and how that it affects you in a negative way in most cases. I'll start off with me one of the reasons I never really people try hard drugs and do different things. One of the reasons I never did that was because I've seen too many people in my family addicted to drugs and alcohol. So I was always cautious on what I take or what I put into, it's like, I ain't going that far or I won't do certain things because I don't know if that's an addictive gene or how that actually worked, but it's like, it was enough to scare me away from doing some things. However, some people do try stuff. And when you try things, you don't know how it's going to affect you. You may, like people say, well, I'm only going to do this Coke one time. You take one hit of it, and next thing you know, you got a craving for it. It don't take much to get you. Some people addicted. I don't know what that is for whoever. Everybody's different. So sometimes it's better to stay away from certain things so you don't have to worry about it. But when you are in a relationship with someone who is addicted, you have to understand that one, they don't have no control over that in and of themselves. They need some help. And so it is physically and is mental dependent. So they either craving it physically, their body is like, I need this, whatever this is. Or their mind is telling them you need this. So either way, they don't have that control. They're losing that control. And that's why it's, you're addicted. What I found is that there's really three types of addictions. There's substance addiction, And everybody kind of understand what that is: drugs, alcohol, that kind of stuff. There's behavioral addictions. Where it's kind of like it's a compulsion to engage in activities that basically, but despite the consequences. So it's let's say like a sexual addiction. It's like the gratification that you feel like you're gonna get from having sex with all these people override the consequence of that. I can get diseases from this. I'm going to hurt a lot of people. I can destroy my marriage. I can destroy my relationship with my girl, or my or in some women have it too. So maybe in her case, she will destroy the relationship with her dude. But that's another one, behavioral addiction. And then you have you have the impulse control disorder. That's like people that can't stop stealing, people that set fires. It's like what's the term for people that set fires all the time?
Pyromaniacs.
Yeah, or you're a klepto. Again, those are all types of addiction. Another behavior addiction, gambling, and then now we got a whole lot of people, with sports gambling and someone getting addicted to it. It's funny how sports will always tell, they be like telling the athletes or telling people, oh, you better be careful though, don't bet on your games. But every place you turn, the NBA, the NFL, NHL, everybody in Major League Baseball, all of them attached to gambling. But then they telling people don't gamble because you played for us. But then, and then you also got young people or even older people getting hooked because they trying to get that quick fix of gambling. So, there's different types, and it's unfortunate because all those types, regardless of what they are, they're going to affect you and your relationship. Because think about it like this. If you have a drug addiction and you're in a relationship, once that addiction, because again, the addiction doesn't lessen, it gets worse and worse over time. So eventually, you're starting to take things out of your house in order to sell it so that you can make sure you got the money for your addiction. Or your addiction is causing you to drink and drive. Your addiction is causing you to, smoke and drive, or whatever drug of your choice is and drive, and putting other people at risk. So you have to understand, as a person not addicted, that this person has a problem, and I have to, one, safeguard myself, but also try to make sure that they're in a good place, so that, or in a place where we can try to get them some help. One thing you can't do, and I think I've heard this and seen this a lot of times with people,
is give them drugs.
That you definitely don't want to do that, but you also can't make them stop.
Oh, so true.
And people always want to, is like, you need to stop, or you need to get out. Okay, the get out part, but they're not going to stop because you said they need to stop. They need help to stop, and the ultimatum or the fact that somebody is saying, I'll stop for you, is never a good thing, because you're not going to stop for somebody else. If you want to stop doing drugs, if you want to stop whatever your addiction is, it has to be because you understand that it's wrong and it's not benefiting your life, and you want to make it better for yourself first. Now, ultimately, it's going to make things better for your wife, for your kids if you have them, or your husband and your kids and your other family member. It'll make it better for them because nobody want no crackhead in their house. So it's going to make it better for them. All of a sudden you come home and, back in the day, people used to take the VCRs and sell VCRs. Like, yo, where's my VCR? You go put in the tape, and, your cousin has sold it. So, you don't want them coming in and doing that. But at the same time, there's the relational part of it. And I think what we miss is that, and people that don't deal with people with addiction, the first thing they'll tell you is, well, I don't know how you put up with that. You should just leave them, or leave him, leave her. They should be. That's easy for you to say because you ain't in love with them like I am. So if I'm in love with somebody, or I have or this strong this relationship we built over time, and now they have an issue.
You want to protect them. You want to help
Right.
them.
I'm not just throwing them out the door because you said what you would do when you ain't got this issue. It's like when, anytime something happens in somebody else's life, the person that never had that thing happen to them would always say, I wouldn't take it. Mm-hmm. You don't know what you would take until something happened to you.
Oh, here's me.
Yeah, it's like, I don't believe you took him back. I don't believe you took her back. Bro, you ain't in this relationship. Mm-hmm. You've never gone through that. You can forgive anything if you choose to. But until you actually go through something, you shouldn't really be telling people what they shouldn't do. What you should do as their friend, and I'm talking about as the friend of the person going through something with an addicted person, is, if anything, just be there to support them. I got you. Look, I'm going to let you come and vent, or I'm going to let you, I'm here for you. I'm here to, try to help you. But I'm not telling you what to do. And the same thing with that, with the person that's dealing with the addict. Look, I need to try to find you some help. It's first thing I think you need to do it. Educate yourself on whatever their addiction is. Because the more you know about their addiction, then you can try to find out ways, like where you need to lead them to get the help they need. But a lot of times people don't even understand their addiction or understand that, look, this addiction may even started long before you and you just never knew about it. Maybe they were able to handle it early in life and you was just like, oh, they cool. They just, the life of the party. They have a good time. Well, over time that gets worse. But one, educate yourself on whatever that addiction is so that you can better understand what they're going through. Address the issue, meaning address the addiction, not the person. Don't talk about what they not. Talk about what this drug or what this addiction is doing to them and what it is and the problem that it's causing. The issue is by you being a sex fiend, you could possibly bring something home to your husband or your wife. You're causing infidelity in our relationship. There's things that you should be doing that we should be talking about and addressing, but it ain't really the person when I know it's an addiction. So, but talking about and talking down to the person is not going to help them get the help they need. So again, address the issue and not the person. You need to set up some boundaries. The boundaries is not just so that, that they don't steal your TV. Or, you ain't talking about, hey, I'm putting a lock on this room, they can't get it out the house. I ain't what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about setting up boundaries, because when you set boundaries, what you do is you are still forcing that person to take some responsibility. They need responsibility. They need to take ownership of some of the things that their addiction is causing. So I need to set some boundaries. If you're going to continue to do drugs, I'm not telling you can't come home. But I'm saying don't come in here while you're high. I'm saying don't if you got a gambling issue, that addiction. I'm saying that we need to make sure that you don't control the money no more. I can't have a gambling addict controlling our finances. So I need to set up that boundary to protect us, but also let them know, when you get right and we get everything squared, you better with money, we can get back to that. But right now, no, because you're going to gamble away the rent. Not a good thing if you want to live inside a house. So make sure you set up some boundaries.
Like shelter?
Make sure, research treatment options for them. Look at different options, not just what somebody told you. Oh, you can go down to the corner, man, they do this in and out service. Well, that may work for some, may not work for all. And maybe this person need more than just a day and out, because you go in during the day, you get high at night. So you're like, nah, maybe they need a little something different. But research different options. There's a whole lot of options for addicts, for whatever again, if you educated yourself and know what issues they're dealing with or what addiction they're dealing with, now you can research the best options in your area that's going to help them get through whatever they got, whatever their addiction is. So you have to make sure, again, it's your life as well. And unless you just planning on throwing them to the side and moving on, you need to be, okay, we need to figure out a way to get this person into some kind of treatment, whatever that treatment is, and you do your best to find the best one that you think would work and they think would work for them. So help them out. One of the most important things you need to do, if not the most important, is make sure some self-care. You got to take care of yourself in the middle. And that's what, when things are going wrong, when things are bad, when things are, money issues because they gambling, or infidelity issues, or alcohol and drug issues, or whatever, or even if they are setting stuff on fire, whatever that issue is, you need to find a way to take care of yourself in the middle of that. Maybe, again, because you're going to be supporting them through that, but you're going to have to make sure, okay, I need a spa day. I need some counseling for me to help me deal with this. I need some things, some friends that I can just go talk to and lean on that take my mind off of the drama that I'm going through. So I need to take care of me first, because I can't help you. I can't be there for anybody else if I'm falling apart.
You definitely can't deal with an addict when you got a short fuse.
Yeah, because one, you gonna be tripping at me, or mad and frustrated, and they probably hide laughing. And the last thing you want is somebody, while you trying to tell me, like, hey, you funny. no, man, I need you to listen.
So you definitely need that patience.
Yeah. So I mean, you're gonna have to find someone somewhere, to kind of help you to
balance out.
Yeah, and like sometimes, look, I just need to get away from all of this and go and just have a good time. Go to the movies with my friends, or go out to dinner and laugh, and we ain't talking about none of my issues. We just going to have a good time, and I can recoup and rebuild and regenerate my mental and my emotional, so I can go back in here and deal with the stuff I got to deal with. Self-care, man. You got to take care of yourself. And again, you got to make sure that you also surround yourself with people that's going to help support you and support your relationship and what you are going through. Not just people that's telling you to throw the person to the side, or telling you, oh, it's all about you. Because I keep telling you, when you get married, it ain't about you no more. It's about us. So we have to figure out how to work this thing together, even when things are going bad. And so you need people around you that's going to help support that and not tear that down, because they want, and they're like, my best friend, I want what's best for you. And I'm sure you do. And I respect that. But you can't want what's best for me outside of my wife, because she is a part of me. So you can't just come in and be like, well, I'm just trying to look out for you, bro. No, you need to look out for us. If you're a friend, if you're my friend and I'm married, then look out for us. So we got to make sure we surround ourselves with people that's going to help support us and support the growth and the healing of the addiction and of our relationship. Because as you're going through this, your relationship is going to have some issues. It's going to fracture, and you're going to constantly be looking at how to heal it, because you can't just assume that, well, they going through this and we'll be okay. No, if you don't work at being okay, you won't be okay. You can't assume that once it's over, even if you say, okay, well, they're going to rehab and they'll get better. That's great. But when they come back, now you have to figure out, okay, we've been living in this dysfunction for a while. Now this person is back and the head is on clear again. How do we phase them back into this and not destroy our relationship? Because we was functioning in dysfunction. Now we want to function in a relationship that's supposed to be solid, but we can't get out of the dysfunction because we got comfortable there. So you may even need some counseling after it's all over. The two of you, or the whole family for that matter, if that's the case. So you got to make sure you surround yourself with the right people that's going to continue to help uplift your relationship. Now, one other thing I want to point out too. Let's say you were in a relationship. The relationship ended, and you had a child with that person. And so you have the child with you, the person, is doing their thing, but the person is a drug or alcoholic, or a drug addict or alcoholic, whatever. It's a difficult thing, but what you got to balance is that's their parent, but I want to make sure they're safe. And I think one of the things you do is you don't want to stop a child from seeing their mother or father, but you want to make sure that mom or dad know, come on and see your child, but come when you're clean, come when you're sober, come when, and even if that's, I'm only going to be sober for 5 minutes, well, come get those 5 minutes in of sober and go do your thing. But I'm not just I don't think you want to just completely not allow your child to see their parent if that parent has moments of soberness, and so it's difficult because you want to protect your child, but I think the child has to understand that mom or dad loves them, even though they got a problem, they dealing with some their issue, but don't mean that I don't love my child.
But how do you as the other parent determine if, one, you do love your child or not, or two, when those moments of sobriety are?
Again, I'm allowing you to come. I'm not saying you can take the child nowhere, because I don't know when you sober or when you not high. But when you can come over to my house, or we can meet in a park or whatever we need to do, and you can spend time with your child. If when we get there you high or whatever, then we're gonna leave. But I want your child, I want the child to know that mommy or daddy still care. Mommy or daddy don't love them, and people say, well, how do you know if they love them? Well, I don't know. I can't really judge if somebody loves somebody off of, other than what you do for them. Now, if you say, well, they got an addiction, then I can say, well, if you still trying to see your child, then at least you care about that child in some way. You just don't know, because of your addiction, it's just clouding your judgment on how to deal with them or how to take care of them. So as the sober parent or the parent without the issue, then I need to make sure that I give the child the opportunity to see the other parent, but I keep them safe. And it's a balancing act. And you got to be careful. You got to do it the right way. But I think you do the child a disservice if they never get to see their parent, and it's all, well, because they high or they this or that, and then the parent becomes in the child's mind this thing that, they can't get right because they don't want to, because if they got right they would come see me. So it all, or the kid to say, they maybe it was my fault, because kids always like to blame themselves when parents break up or when things go wrong, when it's never the child's fault. But if daddy or mommy is good for even a moment, let them have that moment with that child. Let them have that moment, and hopefully that moment can spark mom or dad saying, I need to get right. I need to get my head right. I need to go to count. I need to go to therapy. I need to go to wherever, rehab, whatever I need to do. I need to go do that because I don't want to miss out on all these moments with my child. So it's a delicate situation, and everybody's situation is going to be different, and you got to watch it. But when you're talking about, I just think kids gain so much when they know not that mommy and daddy are perfect or they good, but they love me. That's all kids really care about. Do mom and dad love me? Now, are they crazy? Are they whatever? They might have all them issues, but they love me.
I feel like that inconsistency could be worse though. Like, you come for 5 minutes because you happen to be sober for 5 minutes.
But again, you ain't gonna leave me. I'm saying 5 minutes. But if the person comes, it's gonna probably they ain't gonna.
Let's say you're sober today.
Yeah.
And you come see me today, but then you're not sober for another 2 weeks. I feel like that's worse on the child.
I think the time that the child gets, and again, because I'm not explaining to you or telling you that mom or dad has a problem. So there's an issue. So when they're able to, they're gonna come. But at least they're coming, or not that they're coming, but at least they were here, and that. Okay, if it's 2 weeks later, it's 2 weeks later. Some people only see the kids every 2 weeks anyway because they live in different states or wherever.
Yeah, so, but that's a different situation.
But again, no, it's still, I can't get to you.
You can get to me. You're choosing not to get to me
No.
because of addiction.
No, but I can't get. If I see you once a month because I live in another state,
Yeah.
I can't get to you.
Right, but again, that's a lot.
Or I can get to you if I chose to move closer.
Maybe, but if you're not financially, and you're not making a choice to do something. That's different.
It's always a choice.
It's not
It's
necessarily
always a choice.
It's not necessarily a choice.
No, it is.
Or the circumstances behind.
No,
like,
there are
what
different
choices you're making.
circumstances, but it's still a choice. I choose to live on the other side of the world versus living in the same place where my child is at. I chose that. Whether or not I chose it because of financial reasons or I chose it because, I don't know, whatever reason, but you still chose that.
We're having a completely different conversation, and we're talking about a parent that had a child and then moved across the world.
Right.
That's a lot different than.
No, what I'm saying, it's one is a choice that I made based off of thinking this thing through and making a decision. The other one is not even a choice. It's a behavior or an addiction that's controlling the outcome. I don't. If I'm addicted, I'm not even in control of choices, so to speak, because I'm the craving, the need is what's driving what I'm doing.
Yes, your decision mechanism.
So it's not even a choice that I said, oh, I'm choosing not to see my child. No, the addiction is choosing. So I need to get help with the addiction so I can make a choice. Right now, there is no choice because of the addiction. That's what it is. When it talks about being physically or mentally dependent on a particular substance. So that's where the choice actually goes away a little bit. So I'm not saying, but again, I'm not saying that your child is I think we think children are more fragile than they are, but I think at some point there's again, and I'm not talking about bringing crackhead daddy into the picture or drunk mama into the picture. I'm saying if you can be sober, if you can come over and sober, or we can meet you somewhere and you're sober and clear-minded, and your child can feel that love, it's a plus. I think it's a plus. But again, you have to work that out between, you and the other person and all the things they're going through. I don't know what you're going through, and it may take time for you to even get there with them because of what they put you through. I don't know. You have to figure that out based on your own personal circumstance. I'm just saying, don't just automatically cut the parent out of the child's life if there's a chance for the parent to be in the child's life, because it's needed. But again, I think we all, when you're dealing with people with addiction, it is so crazy that you can love these people so hard. They could be just like the best people in the world, and then all of a sudden that thing start calling them, and they got to go do it, and then it's like a whole different person. I've seen it in my family where cousins and just a bunch of people where they like the nicest people in the world. They get a drink or they can't put it down. Next thing you know, they crazy, and it's like, yo, why we gotta be around them? But then is that they cool now? They just so different. But when you love people, you put up with some things. But what we didn't do was probably what we should have been doing too. Was, let's make sure we continue with our own self-care, continuing to build ourselves and helping us to deal with those, those issues and those that lifestyle that's that's really destructive in some cases. It's like I said, I don't wish this on anybody, and I hope if you're going through that, you can find the support you need. Churches have supports. A lot of people got support that help people through it. But as you're supporting and helping the addict, get help and support for yourself, because you're not the one with the problem, but you're going to be feeling the effects of it. And even your child, you need to make sure if you gotta get counseling for them. Get counseling for them to deal with it. Because no one needs to feel like it's my fault. Not if you're the wife or the husband, it ain't your fault. Your wife on drugs or drinking or whatever they doing, that's not your fault. Wife, it's not your fault that your husband got those issues. Child, it's not your fault that your parents have that issue. So sometimes you need to get the counseling you need, or get counseling to help you understand and really reinforce that this ain't about me. This is them issue. They got the problem that need to be dealt with. I just need to figure out how to support and be supportive through it. And whatever that means, like I said, it means something different for everybody, every family. And you have to figure that out. But there are, you can look online and find numbers, people to call in your area to get the help you need. So if you need some help and you're dealing with somebody with an addiction, or you're the person with the addiction, find a way to get the help that you need. And, again, I pray that, that the help is readily available to you so that you can grow and, hopefully save a relationship, or at least build a relationship that's healthy.
We're going to get Ryan to put the addiction hotline thing on the screen. We try this episode.
Yeah, then I had if you're gambling, to call
if
that
you
number.
or someone you know struggles with gambling,
call this number. But yeah,
right, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, but that right after they tell you to call it, if you want to gamble, here's all I get our numbers and different things you can bet. But then if you got a problem, But I'm telling you, if you're the one, get some help. Or whatever it is, just get some help, people. It's okay to get help. So, all right, with that, we're gonna wrap this one up. I hope if nothing else, I hope this causes you to have a conversation with the people in your life that may be struggling. Or if you're struggling, you have a conversation and then you seek the help you need. I don't know what help you need. I'm just telling you, there is help out there. So I hope you can find it.
It's trying to help me get a couple ideas for my parlay.
So, all right. So, if you Israel, what we got, man? Let's get up out of here, man. We gonna about to bounce up out of here. So, I know the people might have some comments later, and I know I'll get a few texts from some people about this. But hey, like I said, I just want people to understand that this is not something that they should be ashamed of. If you're going through it,
Who, the addict?
the addict, or because again, the addict ain't usually ashamed. They just because they can't control it. But the other people, they usually ashamed. My dad a crackhead or a drunk, and but that ain't you, bro. My mom is it, but that ain't you. So don't be ashamed. Get the help you need. Get the help that your family need. And I hope that's what you all take from this. That we all got to get some help at some points.
Hey, Dad, quick question. You ever date crack?
No.
Oh.
No desire to at all.
Okay.
So,
Me either, by the way. For the record.
I'm glad.
I wasn't trying to bond over shared crack experience.
No.
We can share over non.
Yeah, we can bond over that. But that would be one that we would not be able to.
And I would like, for the record, to show and forever show that if you ever do, not you, anyone, people, if any of you ever do a line in front of me, I'm leaving. I'm going home.
That's right.
I'm going home.
Yeah, that's not my thing. Never been my thing.
Yeah,
and I shout out to some of my cousins, because I know when I was a young boy, they used to be doing it. They used to always be like, "Yo, man, you need to go." So they looked out for me when I was young, and maybe was a little bit more naive and might have thought about it. They'd be like, "Yo, you gotta go." So shout out to my family that always protected me when I was young.
Shout out to y'all.
So with that, everybody else, keep your head up, get the help you need. We gonna bounce up out of here. Huh?
If I hear that, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm gonna turn around and look at you for like 12 seconds, and I'm gonna go, yo, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah. All right, people. Until next time, what you gonna tell the people, Israel?
I'm not gonna tell y'all nothing. What y'all gonna do is tell people. Y'all gonna tell some friends. Y'all gonna tell them friends, tell some friends, tell some friends, tell some friends, tell everybody. Like and subscribe. Listen too. Don't just like and subscribe and just be letting that joke go. Like, for real, listen. Because what are you doing? You don't be doing that all the time you be driving. Think about how much time people be driving. What they be listening to?
Nonsense.
Not us.
Yeah.
So listen to us.
Yeah.
And then, boom, life is better.
There you go.
Oh wait, I did have a question.
What's
I
that?
wasn't gonna say a people question, but it's a me question.
All right, you question.
All right, so let's say you're dealing with somebody with an addiction, right?
Right.
Now, what if you were to go and
If I want to what?
you don't want to stay? And
Okay.
like you're like, all right, this is enough. I'm blah blah blah.
Right.
And your people are around you. On the flip side, not saying, oh, you should go. They're saying, yo, you should stay. You should stay and help. What do you say to that one?
I say the same thing I would say to the people that's telling you to go. You got to make your own decision. That's your life. I'm never telling somebody that's married to leave their husband or wife. I would never tell them that.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you choose to leave your husband or wife, I'm not judging you for that either, because I don't know what you're going through in that house.
Right.
And so if you are with somebody that's addicted, I would never, and you say, I'm going to leave, I don't think anybody should judge you on leaving, because they're not living that. You live in that. So you got to make the decision based off of all the information you can get. I think the only thing you do yourself a disservice for if you don't try to get as much information as possible before you make a decision. Other than that, whatever decision you make is the decision that you got to live with. So you got to make it the best one for you. So
And if you my girl and you do a bump of something, like a key bump or whatever bump of anything in front of me, I'm leaving. I'm going to look at you for the standard 12 seconds.
12
and then
seconds.
I'm going to go, hey, I'm about to head out. And then I'm never going to speak to you again. Don't do cocaine around me.
Hey, there you have it. So, and we already told you to like and subscribe.
Yeah,
so now we're just
yeah.
going to bounce. I hope
We
y'all,
out here.
yo, so y'all take it easy and we'll holler at you soon.
Yo, bye.
Studio. We in the studio. We in the studio. We Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. We Rob We in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Catch a vibe. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Is alone and only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Good with the OG like Flintstones. Good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.